Hello, welcome to another stream. How about that? How about that? How about that? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, Mr. Vodka, Oud9, Yatanasov, John. Who else? James Bond, Master by the way, Carlos Dunker, Hertzen Bot, Raguel, Grandmine94. Hello, hello. I hope I didn't miss anyone. Free Foo, Sock Snakes. John Poon Thong, hello, hello, really glad to see you all today. So today is, I think today is Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Tuesday. I keep forgetting, it is Tuesday in fact, so that means today we are programming in Rust. So today is a Rust day. And according to the schedule, we are continuing to develop our framework for Terminal. A TUI framework called RCUI. It's a very boring name. Maybe we can come up with something better a little bit later, but yeah. So we're developing that framework for our other application called CM. And I think we're getting closer to actually starting using the framework in CM. So there's a couple of things that I need to implement, and after that I think we should be ready to try it out. Hello to a step, welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, let's take a look at what we have. I'm gonna go open TeamViews and go to RCUI. And let me see, I think I need to fetch the latest changes. So I'm gonna check out master and fetch prune origin. Whilst checking out, I'm gonna start up my Chromium and open up the repo. There we go. There we go, and I'm gonna merge origin master. Cool. Let's build everything and see how it goes. So again, the source code can be found in the chat, and yeah, so this is basically the gist of the framework, right? You can declaratively define UI tree, and the engine of the framework is gonna render it and then propagate events as needed, and so on and so forth. You can handle these events and modify the underlying elements, and yeah, it's basically UI framework, nothing special. We have a couple of examples, so let's take a look at them. So yeah, there's a famous, not that famous, I mean, nobody uses that framework to call it famous. There's this example called grid. It basically creates a grid of elements, and you can resize things, and as you can see, you can even have different proportions of the cells of the grid, so we are capable of doing that. So also you can have item list, so let's take a look, and yeah, you can just go through the elements, and it supports scrolling. So it's just a regular item list. And I think another, the most interesting example would be transfer list. Transfer list. Essentially here, you can pick up an item and transfer it to another list, and then you can switch to another list and transfer them back. So, and you can describe such UI quite concisely, I would say. This is the whole code that describes that UI. Yeah, it's a little bit noisy, but first of all, it's Rust, and second of all, we're in the middle of designing this framework, so maybe a little bit later, so it's gonna become less noisy, especially like this type. It's an item list of strings inside of a proxy, inside of a box, and proxy is a notion from our framework, yeah. So essentially proxy is a widget that wraps another widget and lets you inject your own event handler, so that's what it is. So yeah, today we're gonna continue developing this thing and see how it goes. All right, let me start Emacs from within the development environment. And yeah, so it's almost ready, except these two features that I prepared. So absolute fixed size of group cells. So this one is really interesting. Let me skip my order, and I'm gonna explain what it's all about. So essentially, we have a notion of rows and columns, right? So, for example, the grid example is essentially what does Vim use for TUI and curses? I have no idea, to be fair. Maybe it's uses in curses, maybe not. A lot of applications actually use in curses, so it's quite likely it does use it in curses. So essentially, we have a column of rows, and what's interesting is that both columns and rows are a sequence of so-called cells. And cells contain other widgets and their associated size. Right. So, and this is quite interesting. So the cell has two like data constructors. It has one data constructor and many. Right. So it's kind of redundant, but I introduced this data constructor to simplify the things, so you don't have to provide like extra arguments all the time if you want the size of a single widget. So let's take a look at the definition of that. So it's defined somewhere in group. Yeah, there you go. So as you can see, it has two data constructors, one and many. And what that means, essentially, if you have a row of cells, that number, either one or many, indicates how many widget cells it will take on that grid. Right, or not necessarily grid, or row or column, right, and it dynamically resizes the elements according to that. And this is how we achieved that look in the grid example. This is exactly how we achieved that. So basically this widget has more slots. It's taking more slots than the ones that are below. But the thing about these slots is that their sizes are relative. Their sizes are relative to width or relative to height. But sometimes we want to be able to provide absolute sizes for the cell, right? Maybe we want to fix, for example, like for examples, I want you to have like a fixed size title that explains the example, and then down below I would have the example. But I cannot do that because I cannot fix the size of that title. And this is kind of like annoying. So, and this is something I wanted to fix. Does this make sense? Does the rest have variadic args? Wouldn't be able to use that. But the problem is that this is not a function, if I understand correctly. Is it? Is it a function? It's a data constructor. Maybe data constructors in Rust act like functions that accept these arguments and return cell, and hence you can actually use them as functions. But that's actually besides the point. Yeah. So I'm not sure if it does have variadics. I think macros do have variadics, but functions do not necessarily. We can Google that. By the way, hello, Hudson Plus. I'm really sorry that I ignored you. I was just trying not to interrupt my thoughts. Variadics interfaces. Yeah, it looks like it does support that on the level of macros and stuff like that, because these look like macros. But yeah. Yeah, I was just, trying to finish my thoughts. Yeah, hello, really good to see you. So, these are relative things, right? These are relative things, and now I want to introduce another constructor called fixed, where you can provide a fixed size, width or height, depending on whether you are in a row or in a column. So there's no flows here, there's F32. So, and the underlying thing here is going to be pointer to the widget, like dynamic pointer to the widget. So, and yeah, we'll have to implement that. Does it make sense? Does anybody have any questions about what we're doing right now? Maybe I should like write a small document that explains the like layout mechanism, right? But yeah, I probably need to write some small document because it's kind of difficult to explain. To explain with the words, actually, it's relatively easy to explain with pictures. Right, can we explain that with pictures? I wonder if we can. So if we can explain that with pictures, maybe we can put that picture to the readme. Yeah, because it's primarily like a visual thing. So imagine that you have a row. I need to map my thing. Right. So, and that row has a particular width. Hello, Kolumbetka, welcome, welcome, welcome. So here's the width. Hello, Cozy White Bear. And imagine that you have these widgets. Imagine that you have, let's say, something like this. All right. So you have 4 widgets. But for this one, you have associated cell size 1. Associated cell size 1. This one is also 1. This one is 2. This one is 3. All right. So basically, this is how many cells a particular widget will take. What our engine does, it takes all of these numbers, so cells, and sum them up. Right, and what you have here is 7, right? This is 7. So after that, it takes width and divides by the amount of these cells, and this is a single cell size. Single cell. Okay, how do you spell cell? Cell size. Right, and then it uses that single cell size to this widget. So, for example, this widget is going to be 3 cells. This one is going to be 2 cells. This is going to be 1 cell, and so on and so forth. So, does it make sense? Does it explain how our layouting works? And as you can see, they're very dynamic. They heavily depend on this value. Right, the bigger that value, the bigger the cell sizes are going to be. Yeah, and what I'm trying to do is to introduce fixed size, where you can specify exact cell size, not absolute exact cell size, not the relative one. All right. So maybe I'll need to write some need to draw something like that, but prettier input in the README that explains how it works. But yeah, I believe Qt does things in a similar way. Hello, Hamiko Pediator, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Did it make any sense? I'm just worried that maybe not everyone understands what exactly we're doing here with the layout and stuff. Qt, yes. So, and 1 is essentially means that you have a 1 cell size. Many, you have n cell size, which is kind of strange because with many you can specify 0, which is less than 1, but it's kind of like a design flaw that I don't know how to fix here. And the reason why I have a separate thing here is that so you don't have to provide additional argument or whatever. So let's have fixed, and we're gonna have a very specific value. Yeah, let's go ahead and try to build that. It's going to be cargo build. And what do we have? So here we have a pattern matching. Cell get widget. Oh, okay, that makes sense. So it has to be cell fixed. Widget. So there's a way to extract all of that. Oh, and also we have a mutable version of this thing, because when you have a cell, sometimes you want to extract its widget, and that's absolutely fair, in my opinion. All right, and we have a column count. Basically, how many of them do we have there? But what's funny is that fixed doesn't have that. It just doesn't have that. So it has the exact size in characters, but here we're supposed to return size in cells, which brings us to a very interesting point. Maybe we should not even have such methods. Maybe we should always return size in characters, right? Size in characters. And what was interesting is that in case of 1 or many, you will need the size of a single cell, right? You will need the size of a single cell. This one is complicated, actually. Okay, so I'm gonna do something like this, and I'm gonna put a to-do here because I'm not really sure how exactly we have to handle that. I think we'll have to refactor some stuff to make it work, and it seems to be working. Hello, Profapper69, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, and here is group and a single cell size. All right, so what we do here, we iterating through everything, and then we take a size, and so on and so forth. So fixed cells cannot be modified, so their sizes cannot be, you know, stretched or anything like that. Hello, the Tenor, welcome to the stream, welcome. So what I'm thinking is that we need to properly iterate through the cells and consider what kind of cells they are. Yeah, hello @0, welcome. So it's gonna be for cell, and inside of here we're gonna look into them. So it's gonna be match cell. We have 5 raiders from Security Life. Thank you so much for the rate and welcome. Are you guys, you know, hackers? Do you hack things? You cannot hack this code because it's written in Rust, and Rust is a safe language, am I right? Hello. Hello, Facing Tomorrow. Welcome. I mean, I think I used unsave a couple of times here. So, I actually removed unsave, so yeah. But we do use curses, so we do use C libraries, so maybe if there's vulnerabilities there, you can probably hack it. No hacker, just looker. Yeah, I see. Hello, Arigato. I hope I pronounced your nickname correctly. Wolfgang Blitz, hello. So let me take a look at the constructors here. So the first constructor is going to be, I suppose, cell 1, right? And in that case, so essentially what we're doing, we're just counting these things. Right? It's going to be mute. 100% correct, yes. I'm 30 years old, I know how to read the lead code. I've been there. So, count. So it has to be something like count, and we're gonna do 0. So if it's 1, we'll have to do count plus 1. And many. So in that case, we're gonna do something like this. Count plus equals n. And in case of fixed, we're not gonna increase the amount of cells we have here. What we're gonna do instead, we're gonna take this size and subtract it from the size that we're gonna use to calculate the cell size, right? So it's gonna be something like this, size minus s. And after that, what we essentially are doing, we're taking this size and divide it by count. And this is how we get that. Yeah. So, and that means that we don't need the count method in the original cell, right? Because we essentially inlined it here, right? We essentially inlined it. Oh, that's okay, Katul. Thank you for happy birthday wishes. That's some next level G's. Not really, it's just a bunch of for loops and if conditions. Like, I mean, it's not that complicated. So yeah, I effectively inlined this thing, and yeah, so far it looks okay. So let's see if it's gonna even compile and doesn't break anything. It seems to be actually breaking. Is this your first red t-shirt or your second? This is my first one, so this is an old one. Yeah. I don't know why is that important, but okay. Okay, so what's that? We have cells. Okay, this is interesting. So when we're rendering things, group cell. Okay, so there's no count anymore. And what we have to do now, of course, go to the cell and define a method size. So, which will return f32. So it's going to be self. And here we're going to probably provide just a cell size, do we not? Yeah, I think it would make sense to provide a cell size. Is there a reason why Rust is particularly suited for TUI GUIs? I don't think it's actually suited. The only reason why I do that is because I want to. So, I don't know. To be fair, I don't think there is a language that particularly suited for TUI GUIs, because I don't think anything makes a language special for that specific task. Like, I don't know. So all of the languages they just have procedures, loops, conditions, variables, and how those things make this language suited for that. It's just one area where you can use programming. I don't think language has anything to do with that. So, yeah. Sorry. Certainly not Java, I'll tell you that. Why? Java is a Turing complete. It can output things to the terminal. That's already enough to be suitable for writing TUI frameworks. Seriously, that's already enough. You are a hacker. Is that a statement or is that a question? I don't know. By the way, let me trust you, James Bond. I think you've been around long enough. Do you tie intern curses? I don't understand what you mean by a verb tie. Alright. So size in this particular case is going to be what? So we're just going to return the cell size. Then in case of menu, wait, what was this funny command? Verify trust? Which one? So cell size. So what exactly it's supposed to do? Maybe I can remember it. So. Oh yeah, there's also VIP one. There's also VIP one. Okay, so this is the size, but you need to know the cell size to actually calculate the size. Yeah. Okay, cool. So cell count, group cells. So where do we use cell count? We use it only once. Okay, so let's do something like cell widget size. I think it's gonna be widget size. It's a widget size where I take a single widget, put a size here, but I also have to provide a widget age. So, but this age is essentially cell size. Yeah, cell size. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. And that means I can replace this stuff with just cell widget size. Widget size. And I don't think we need cell count afterwards. Yeah, cell count is not needed. There we go. Yep. Oh, thank you, Wolfgang Blitz.
Thanks for streaming. I always enjoy your channel.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for 200 bits. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the channel. What motivates you people to learn this? I deserve to get banned at all. What? Okay, I didn't understand the second part, but what motivates me to learn this? I don't know. I treat this as a recreational activity that pleasantly stimulates my brain, and that's exactly why I do that. So, yeah, that's the whole answer. So it's definitely not for everyone. Yeah. So there's no like objective here or anything. It's just, yeah, that's what my brain likes to do, and that's what I keep doing. And apparently there's a lot of people who share that opinion with me. I don't know. Is a markup bot? Is it? Really? Interesting. Okay, so here's the size, and this was bound. Match arms and incomplete. Don't quite understand what you mean by that. I think they are complete. Expected found. Oh, okay. So maybe that's what I need to do. And yeah. Oh shit! Is it gonna even parse that? It managed to parse that. That's cool.
Wolfgang recommended DJ Teatum Psapsashihart.
Thank you, Security Life, for 200 bits. Thank you. I don't know why do I have so many bits today, but yeah. So I really appreciate the help. Like, I'm not even doing anything like special so far. I'm just warming up because I only started the stream like half of an hour ago. So yeah, I'm doing like a warm-up issue. This guy is definitely a bot. I don't really know if they are. It's kind of hard to tell if they are. Okay, so this is a row, but did we modify the row? Yeah, we only modified the column here. So basically, we need to change this to take these changes and adapt them for the row as well. Right, we'll have to adapt them for the row as well. Let me see how we can do that. The bot is self-aware. Like, I mean, I've seen Profapper69 in my chat for quite some time already. I don't think they're bot. So that's just my opinion. They've been around for quite some time. Alright, so what do we have? Cell size self group, cell size rect W. I think that's how we're gonna go about it. So after that, do we even need cell count? No, we don't. So it's gonna be widget size, where we take a particular thing and take a size with the cell size. And in here, we're gonna just simply replace this thing with the cell size. There we go. 2, and hopefully that will do a thing. I forgot the semicolon, of course. Widget size. Oh yeah, so we have to use widget size instead of cell size. Widget size, there we go. Okay, seems to be compiling. So I did the refactoring, and let's see if I didn't break anything. Right, let's see if I didn't break anything. And you still know the TUI of Turbo Pascal 7 for DOS, that was great. I remember that one. That was actually pretty cool. Alright, so by the way, let me also rebuild all of the targets. Oh, targets. But I forgot the name of the framework. I think the Turbo Pascal had like a specific framework for TUI. How was it called? I keep forgetting it. So let's take a look at the examples. Cargo around Turbo Vision. Yes, that one. Oh my god, so long time ago. All right. So let's take a look at the grid, and as far as I can see, the layouting algorithm didn't really break, right? We introduced a new kind of cell, and everything looks okay. Let's take a look at the other things here, item list. So everything seems to be working fine so far. We can scroll and stuff, and the most interesting one is probably going to be transfer list. Alright, so I can move things to the other list, and yeah, so essentially we're developing a framework that enables you with developing these kind of interfaces, right? Where you have like widgets, you can switch the focus between widgets and you can interact with them and stuff like that. That's exactly what we're developing, and it was just modifying the algorithm that calculates like sizes of the widgets on the layout. So I was just modifying that. Alright. So yeah, I think I need to create a separate branch for what I'm doing right now. So absolute fixed sizes of group cells. There we go. So let me create a branch for 30, and So let's do the following thing. 30, introduce fixed cells. Right, and the next thing we need to do, we need to try to use them somewhere and see if they actually work. Right, and see if they actually work. I'm gonna go to the grid example. Yeah, this is a grid example, and we're gonna introduce another thing. So here's the column, here's the rest of the stuff, and I'm pretty sure I should be able to do the following thing: fixed. And let's say that I want the height of that cells to be 3 characters. So this is not the relative size, this is absolute size. That's quite important. And then we can do something like this. So it's going to be text wrap, and we can put something like, this is a grid example, maybe the grid example. Right, I'm going to put it like that. There we go. So, and the size of that specific cell is going to be really fixed to 3 characters. At least it should be, right? We don't know if it's going to be like that, but this is exactly what we're trying to test here. Let's go ahead and just run this grid example. And it doesn't compile. This is because it's supposed to be a floating point. It's kind of interesting, right? So even though the size in characters, we are using floating points, and this is because all of the layouting calculations are done in floating points just to not lose, you know, any precision or something like that, right? So yeah, that's why it's a float. So still, oh, by the way, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I thought for a second that I'm programming in C. So yeah, you're not supposed to put F here. Oh, there we go. So this is what I was talking about. You see? But we cannot really see the size of this thing, but it's supposed to be like 3. Unless we actually align it accordingly. Unless we actually align it. We can use like the text cell thingy here, so it will align it like at the center of the cell. So it will align it at the center of the cell, and there we go. So now we have like, this is the grid example. Isn't it cool? I think it's pretty cool. And it's pretty much fixed. Yeah, you see, we resize the stuff, and the position of the title doesn't change because the size of this thing is fixed. There we go. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So, we need borders, not for this example though. This is just an example that shows how you can place elements and stuff like that. Alright, 30, use fixed cells in 01 grid example. There we go. 01 grid example. Cool. And I think I want to try to use this in more examples. For example, the second one. I think double panel is going to be pretty good for this experimentation. So let's grab it. Cargo run example. Yeah, so as you can see, the sizes are relative. So what if we actually fix the size of the left list? So let me try to do that. So where is it? No, this one was 03 double panel. There we go. Here they are. So we have 2 item lists, and both of them take 1 cell. So let's say that the left one is going to be fixed, and it's going to take exactly 100 characters. Right. And of course I keep forgetting that it's supposed to be float. And let's just try to run it. And I think 100 characters was too much, so let's say it's gonna be 20. Yeah. Oh, there we go. So look, now, no matter how much we change, the size of the left one stays the same. It always stays the same. That's kind of the point. Yeah. So we can now fix the the sizes of particular widgets. So yeah, is that cool? Is that cool? Maybe. But I think for this example, it doesn't really make much sense, right? It doesn't really make much sense. So this is a row. Maybe we can try to also add the title to that example. That would be actually pretty cool, I think. Sodin is gunning for the web dev. There is all gonna be jobless after this. What is gunning? I don't speak English, I'm sorry, I don't understand this usage of the verb to gun. I didn't know that gun can be a verb. So anyway, this one has to be wrap, I think. Column. New, and we're gonna have a vector. So this is gonna be just a vector, and so this is the first. So this is the first row, and then here gunning for is like coming for. Okay, sure. Fair enough. Essentially what I want to do is I want to create the text. So text is going to be something like what's up, stream chess? Hello, hello. So text is going to be let me see. JK to move up and down, tab to switch the focus. So basically we're gonna sort of like explain in the example itself how to control the example. Hello, hello. Yeah, so this is gonna be the idea. So H align is gonna be center, and V align is also gonna be center. So there we go. Yeah, but all of that also has to be wrapped in the new. Is Rust any good for developing video games? It's a wrong question. You're asking wrong questions. But this will create a problem. So this will become uncontrollable, I think. Because yeah. So this is a H box. To be fair, let's call it something like box. Oh, goddammit, it's already taken. I think this is not a particularly good thing. So we have to wrap it slightly differently, I think. We have to wrap it slightly differently. We have to wrap it over that proxy thingy that we have here, you see? So yeah, let me actually try to do something like this. So this is a proxy, and yeah, this column should go over that, I think, like this, and this will go somewhere here. Yeah, so that's cool and all. That is cool and all. So you have this, and then you have a proxy that controls queue and focus change. But what's funny is that a column is not really gonna do much, unfortunately. It's really not gonna do much because it's gonna be focused on the first element and it's not gonna propagate the focus to anything else. But I think we should be able to fix that somehow. All right, so text. Oh, god damn it! I forgot that it's supposed to be a semicolon. I keep forgetting about that. So in this thing, expected string. So that means we'll have to do something like toString afterwards. All right, expected Oh, and also you have to decide on the cell. So cell has to be, let's say, fixed 3, right? It has to be 3. And then I have to wrap this into cell as well, and that cell is going to be just 1. Yep, something like this. Or is format, that seems nice. Are you talking to me or are you talking to somebody else? I don't understand, sorry. So it's supposed to be probably expected box, but okay, so I have to wrap this. Alright, so everything seems to be compiling. Everything seems to be compiling. It's rather unclear when you have to use wrap or when you have to use new, but I think it's kind of normal for Rust. Yeah. So this is how you describe UI in this framework, by the way. But yeah, I could have actually extracted this title thingy to a separate like function, but I'm not gonna do that. I think I'm not gonna do that. Okay. Alright. So this is what? Wrap is not very normal for Rust. I never seen it. Okay. Okay, so let's try to run it. Yeah, here we go. So it does have the title, right? It does have the title, and the title doesn't change in size, right? It doesn't change in size at all. But unfortunately, the focus is not focused on the thing below. It is completely not focused on the thing below. And I'm thinking how we're gonna do that. One way to do that, I think, is to, I can't even, oh, I can kill it, I can do Control-C. Let's extract all of that to a separate, like, not even a method, but rather a function that will construct the title thing for us. So essentially, we're gonna have a title, all right? You will provide the title as a string, str, as a str. And you also need to provide the box that you want to wrap, the widget that you want to wrap, right? So it's going to be something like din widget. I think this is how you can do that, I suppose. This is how we can do that, but I'm not sure. Maybe it makes sense to actually accept the box. We'll see, we'll see. So maybe the linter will tell me that I'm doing something wrong here, but at the end of the day, we're going to return this thing, hopefully. So, and essentially, I'm going to take this entire stuff, right? I'm going to take this entire stuff, put it here, and come on. This is going to be our widget, right? So you see, this is some sort of like a wrapper, like around existing widget that just adds a title. Right, that just adds a title, and maybe we will be able to extract that function to like a separate module and reuse it in all of the examples. But that will be actually quite bad example, to be fair, in my opinion, because yeah, it will force the people who read those examples to switch between the files and stuff like that. I would like the examples to be a little bit more self-contained. Yeah, that's gonna be the idea. Maybe I will just copy paste this function everywhere then. Okay, so I'm gonna put something like let mute title here, right? And after that, I'm gonna set its focus because I know its type, but I don't remember in column. Column. It's inside of the group, so it's gonna be group, and inside of the group, I should be able to set the focus. Should set the focus to 0, like 1, right? And after that, I will return the title, like this. So I create the widget, I tweak its focus, so the focus is always fixed on the second element. And then I return that title here. So afterwards, I don't even need this kind of stuff. Here, I can just use that. Just let's remove this and let's see. So this is a proxy wrap, and after that I'm gonna do title like this, title, And what's going to be the title? The title is going to be this. There we go. So you see, like you have UI, and then you can have a title that just wraps it around. Can a cell not shrink below a certain width and height? No, we didn't implement that yet. If you need that, the code is open. Feel free to actually fix that, propose the changes. The pull requests are really welcome. So yeah, I'm developing right now only the things that I need here. So if you need something extra what I need, feel free to submit a pull request. Alright, and this one is going to be toString. Right, cool. So yeah, we implemented the wrapper and everything seems to be okie dokie karaoke. By the way, yeah, this is too long of a thing. I'm not even sure, do we really need to return that type there? Are you okay with Suwon being available as free BSD pack? Of course, according to free MIT license, it's totally okay. So yeah. Did they provide the license for the assets that I drew? I think the assets are like public domain or something, I don't remember. Yeah, you're welcome to do anything with the source code, like according to MIT license. I don't remember if I provided any license for the... Oh yeah, there we go. Images are public domain, so there we go. Cool. Alright, everything seems to be compiling, and now if I try to run it, yeah, there we go. So as you can see, we have a title. And now we can interact with these things, which is pretty epic, not gonna lie. Yeah, there we go. And as you can see, you can still scroll, and the title still stays there. Yep. And everything is recalculated correctly. So that's actually pretty cool. I really like that. Maybe we can make the size of that title actually not 3 or like but 1, so it just fits on a single line. To be fair, I don't know if it's gonna look good. We'll see. It doesn't really look good. It's kind of difficult to notice. The fact that there is like a border around that title actually makes it very noticeable. So I'm gonna stay with 3. I think 3 is actually quite good. Yeah, there we go. Makes it noticeable. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? I think it's pretty cool. Also, I think the type of this thing is kind of crazy. So yeah, it returns a proxy. Can we just make it like a Dean widget? Because it's just too much, I think. Okay, proxy wrap. It requires lifetime bounds. Okay, sure. Let's just make it then like this. Pretty cool, not gonna lie. Yeah, I guess it's pretty cool. So these kind of parentheses are strange. Can we turn it into Lisp? Is it gonna look like... It doesn't really look good in the Lisp style, because I always want to see like the borders of these things. Yeah. Hello, Liquidor. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Thank you for wishing me a great day. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay, that's pretty cool. So let me commit that. So essentially, did I explain everything? Yeah. JK to move up and down. Press J or K to move up and down. I mean, people who probably gonna look into this example know how to use Vim, so JK to move up and down should be familiar for them. Tap to switch the focus. Alright, so, and in here, so for this item list, we're gonna do the following thing. I'm gonna take 03, I'm gonna take this title, and I'm gonna copy paste this thing there. As already explained, I could have just extracted this function to a separate module, but that will force people who read those examples to jump between the file to understand the example. And I don't want people to do that. I want the examples to be self-contained, so you look at the example, you have everything you need in a single file, so you can fully understand it without jumping around. Right, that's why I'm going to copy paste this function there. So, does it make sense? Make sense? I don't know. But maybe this thing kind of complicates the example. I don't know. So the example should be simple. This one is not really that simple. I don't know. Okay, but in any case, so let me try the following thing. And it's going to be title, like this. And here we're going to have title JK to move up and down. I basically want to add these kind of titles to all of the examples, so when you run the example, it explains how you can interact with it. I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing. Okay, so item list, there we go, and JK to move up and down. Yeah, it does explain how to use it. Nice. So 04 transfer list. Okay, so we're gonna do a similar thing here as well. Is TUI an editor? No, TUI is a framework. TUI stands for Terminal UI Interface. So right now I'm just developing a library that will enable you with writing your TUI applications, and maybe if you want to write like an editor, maybe you'll be able to do that, I don't know. So that's what we're doing right now. Okay, 03, title. So let me copy paste it here. And similarly, I'm gonna wrap it around like that. It's gonna be title, like this. Title like this, and then what we're gonna have, JK to move up and down, tab to switch the focus, enter to transfer element. There we go. So that's what we're gonna have here in the title. And now if I run this thing, transfer list, there we go. So we have an explanation on how to use all of that. JK to up and down. Okay, so this is how you move up and down. Then to switch the focus, you press tab. So this is a problem. Yeah, let's actually change the order of explanation. I think the next thing after this one has to be enter to transfer an element, like that, to transfer an element. All right, so there we go. JK to move up and down. Okay, this is how you move up and down. Enter to transfer the element. You see, you can transfer the element. Tab to switch the focus, and you can transfer them back. So basically, you can ping pong these like elements here. So yeah, and example actually explains how to use all of that. And yeah, so let's actually commit all of this, probably. Oh, that looks good. Is everything painted or using some Linux API? I'm Linux newbie, so sorry for weird questions. This is a terminal, right? And we're just printing characters in the terminal. So it's a console application, first of all. It's a console application. To write such console applications, we use something called incurses. So it's a library for writing console applications, so you can check it out. Preferably, I really hate how Google starts to do this highlighting, so it's difficult to, yeah, difficult to share the links and stuff. It's kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But yeah. So we're building our library on top of incurses, right? That's essentially what we're doing. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. As far as I know, there's versions of incurses that also work on Windows. Okay. Add fixed titles to all of the examples. And I'm going to push that right into the repo. How about that? So the next step is going to be actually going through the linter and so on and so forth. What's up, Domson? Welcome to the stream. Have you seen what we've done so far? So yeah, so we're developing a library that allows you to build these kind of interfaces, where you can have like a item list. You can transfer items from one list to another one, then press tab and switch to another one. And yeah, so essentially we're developing a library that lets you build this kind of interfaces, and then we're going to use that in an actual application. So that transfer list example was about 76 lines of code. It's kind of like it's more of a declarative thing. What's the plan for the actual application? We're gonna use it for CM. Right, so I've been developing this application for quite some time. It's a very interesting application, and yeah, after I developed it, I'm gonna use it there. Pretty much. To do app. CM is not a to do app. Okay, so let's actually run the linter and stuff like that. Can you do clippy all targets? Do I have to do all targets? I'm not quite sure. It's basically done. Not sure if you understand what you're trying to tell me. Okay, so you seem to be trying to use match for destructure in a single pattern. Consider using if-let. I see what you mean here. I wonder why it didn't complain on CI. Is it because Clippy? Oh, I see why. Alright, so I suppose we're running Clippy without all targets. Cool. I'm super happy, and our CI doesn't even complain when there is something weird in examples. Okay, can I make it fail though? Okay, I have an idea. So I'm gonna push that right into the repo. I think I already pushed it. Alright, and let's create a pull request and see if the pull request fails. Let's see if it fails. Well, it does fail, but not for the reasons I expected. Probably. We'll see. We'll see why it fails. Close 30. There we go. It has a bug if you run cargo check. How is that related to what we're doing right now? I don't understand. Is it somehow related? I'm sorry, I don't see the relationship. Okay. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, it has something wrong with the formatting. Okay, so let's quickly fix the formatting. It's in examples. FMT. No, it's not showing warnings because it doesn't parse examples unless I did all targets. I already showed that. Fix cargo FMT remarks. Alright. So let's see if it's gonna pass now. So if it passes, that means, yeah, I'm right, and then we'll try to modify CI configuration to actually build all targets and check all targets. I think it's quite important. I really like how this entire framework coming together. It's quite nice, I'm not gonna lie. So maybe the next thing we'll try to build there is gonna be like a mock-up of CM. We're not gonna straight up start using it in CM because that will require a lot of refactoring. But we can try to make like a simple mock-up, like application that looks like CM, using that library, but it's not actually CM. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So something, let's actually see. Yeah, if I do something like grep rn string src, right, and I put it into CM, yeah, it's supposed to look like this, right, and have all of this functionality and stuff like that. But, well, it's not supposed to have that functionality, but should be super close to that. You will end up rewriting CM. God damn it. You got me. Yeah. Rewriting CM in Rust. Even Rust applications need to be rewritten in Rust, yes. Okay, so it doesn't fail, which means that our CI is weak. So we have to strengthen it. So I suppose you do that by adding args, right? And maybe all targets. And let's see if that will fail the continuous integration. Ask Clippy to check all the targets, including examples. Don't add the dash dash. Why? Because there's dash dash here, so why I won't do that? So what's the reason? Damn, I hate scanf. So yeah, scanf is kind of scuffed f. Oh, to binaries. Okay, let's give it a try. So I'm gonna trust you this time, but if it's not gonna work, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll see, we'll see. Scuffed f, yes. Yeah, it's strange that I need that on FMT, but I guess it is what it is. Alright, let's just wait for the continuous integration. I ran out of water. And I also want tea. You know what? While continuous integration is building, I'm gonna actually grab a plate where I dump the tea leaves super quick, because I forgot to bring it when I was preparing for the stream. Coming. I came. But you know that CI won't run with new args until you merge it. Really? Wait, what? That's... Why wouldn't it? Excuse me, like what? What the fuck? But it did run. But it... which one is... Okay, actions, cargo, FMT check. Oh, that's interesting, okay. It ran. It actually ran. But it didn't fail because it doesn't fail on warnings. Oh my god, this is so scuffed. Okay, cargo... cargo what? Clippy? All targets. Alright. I'm pretty sure there's a special flag. I mean, this is a classical, like, web dev mistake. Like, people who write CLI tools in Node, they quite often forget that you need to return, like, non-zero exit code if something fails. But I mean, But don't worry about it. I mean, I make similar assumptions and mistakes all the time. Don't think about it. All right. What I was doing. We need to check out the flags for clipping. Warnings are not failed. Well, yeah, true. I mean, so you see outline. I'm also Pepeka because warnings are not supposed to be failure because they are not failures in the compilers, right? So yeah, let's take a look at help. Set warnings. Is it possible to do something like W error, like all target W error? Can I have like more? Deny warnings, okay. So deny warnings and all targets. There we go. Okay, so I'm not listening to you anymore. I'm just joking. It didn't work. Deny, which doesn't. Okay. Okay, so it's better to just do that. Clippy, warnings as errors. What errors have to check? Deny goes after. Now I understand. So all targets is a flag for cargo, and deny is a flag for clippy. This is such a mess. Oh my god. Oh, alright. So, I mean, okay, sure. All targets. So it has to be big D as well. Warning. C. It was a single C. Warning C. And still returns 0. Okay, so no, deny is for check. But it still doesn't work. Future request flag for non-zero exit status if warnings are. Is there like a workaround? Okay. But it simply doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. Oh yeah, that's exactly what it shows. Okay, I mean, sure. I can fix it myself. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, so what do we have here? So I suppose the warnings is something that I have to just check myself. Sure. So in this particular situation, I just have to use if let, right? Because match would be kind of an overkill, I suppose. So, and that means here, then I put it like that. Yep. And then I'm just gonna remove that. There we go. Just accept 101. Yes. Okay, what's another one? So this is a similar situation as well. Yeah. if let this thing equal event, all right, and yeah, I do need match here for sure. I'm gonna put it here, and then we're gonna remove that. Cool. So what's another thing? And I think I broke something really badly. That's what it feels like, because it starts to complaining down below with some shit. Vent. Okay. Yeah, I did break something really badly. Okay. That's another situation. So I did vent it. Yeah. It's kind of sus, not gonna lie. Flat. Yeah. Boy. Yeah, boy. Okay, and then we just have to do it like this. Didn't even record the macro to transform. Well, cool. Oh my god, I did the same thing in so many places. Alright, another one. Another one. Another one. To be honest, Restoring could be much better. You could have auto-fix for stuff. Probably. I don't know. I don't really program in Rust, so I don't really know. Let's see. If I could do that like this. Okay. Nice. Finally. Jesus Christ. Cargo fix. Yeah. So let's actually rebuild everything just in case. Because you never know. All targets. Looks cool, looks cool. And I also want to go through these examples, just in case. Just to see if everything's okay. Cargo run example. Okay, looks cool. Item list. Do you ever do code review or code help streams? I used to do like code reviews for pull requests that submitted to Tsodin repos. To be fair, like I already explained that I don't want to go to somebody else's repo and tell people how to write their code. It's their repo, it's their project. Like, why the fuck would I tell them how to organize things? Like, who the fuck I am to tell them how to do that? So, no. Like, the whole idea of going to somebody's repo and just listening, you have that wrong, you have that wrong, you have that wrong, is just not really, doesn't sound right to me, because it's not my project. Like, it's your project, you do whatever the fuck you want there. Like, who am I to tell you to do that? Well, if you have a very specific problem with your project and you wonder how to fix that, you can describe the problem to me, and I can take a look at your project and maybe come up with a plan how to improve that, or with a suggestions how to solve that specific problem. Right. But the problem has to be identified by you. You should realize that this is a problem, I want to fix that, and then maybe I can help you. But just go into the repo and tell you, this file is wrong, it's like, you do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I don't know your, like, requirements, I don't know your, deadlines or anything. Like, I don't know under which circumstances that was written, so I don't like that idea, to be fair. Like, that's just my opinion. Just my opinion. Okay. I can only, yeah. If you have a problem, I can maybe suggest something. If not, well. Anyway. Yeah, everything seems to be okay. Everything seems to be working. Everything seems to be working. I'm not a very like drama person, so despite maybe popular beliefs. All right. Anyways, maybe I have some controversial opinions on software development, but I prefer to say them usually on my channel, on my server, or in the places that like in my places. I don't go to other people's places and force my opinions on them, right? So yeah, this is just not the thing that I do. Okay. Yeah. So fix cargo clippy remarks. Let's push that as a друга. Listen to my opinions. Okay. Alright, everything seems to be okay, and we should be ready to merge after the continuous integration. Force your opinion. No, I'm not going to do that. Sub the tenor. Oh, I think I already said how to use the tenor. I really want some tea, not gonna lie. So maybe while we're waiting for the continuous integration, I'm gonna just make a cup of tea. How about that? Does it sound good? Does it sound good? So I'm gonna just dump the leaves of the previous tea into a separate container. And I'm gonna grab my bag of Earl Grey. By the way, I haven't had Earl Grey for quite some time for some reason. I don't know. I just forgot about Earl Grey existing. Imagine squashing commits. Well, yeah, I worked at the places that actually required you to do that, but I don't know. I kind of like to, you know, preserve the history for like extra information while investigating the fucky-wucky, right? Because to be fair, on some of my previous jobs, we had quite a lot of fucky-wuckys caused by different developers, and you had to track those developers down with git blame, and also looking at the history, also looking through emails and stuff like that, just to identify who's the cause of fucky-wucky. And not squashing commits and like keeping the whole history was actually quite useful for that. And I think people who squash commits are trying to hide something. What are they trying to hide? Yeah, true base actors have squashing as hell, yeah. So, I think the continuous integration is done, but I need to turn on my kettle. So, okay. Fuck. So I'm gonna just quickly turn on my kettle, just a couple of seconds, and then go back. Fucking coming again. Hello, I came. How everyone's doing? That was super quick, as I promised. So yeah. All right, let's merge this shit. There we go. The merge has been finally merged. What did I just say? Anyway, delete branch. So this was one thing that I wanted to implement. The second thing I wanted to implement is an edit field. Yeah, this one is gonna be fun. This one is gonna be definitely fun, especially because maybe we want to have like a multi-line, but I'm not quite sure about that. So yeah, we need some sort of an edit field. So where you can input a text and then extract that text for, you know, some processing and whatnot. So let's go back to the master and fetch the latest changes. Is this the official GitHub dark theme? No, it is not. I don't know if they even released it yet. So there were some rumors based on some like comment in some issue somewhere in the chat hole of the GitHub. I don't know. I don't know if it's actually true or not. Okay, did I fetch the? Okay. All right. Master. Everything looks okay. Let's remove that, and we are ready. We are ready. So I'm just listening to my kettle, just to see if it's ready already or not. And let's create a separate branch specifically for edit field. So it's gonna be 10. It's gonna be 10, and I think I have a module prepared for edit field. Yeah, there we go. I even have a to-do. So it's a straight up empty file, and yeah, it has a to-do edit field. What's fun is that I was quite surprised that Rust compiled with just empty file and didn't complain about anything, even like not a single warning. Because like Rust complains about all sorts of bike shedding shit, like for example, if you have parentheses around the condition, it will like throw you a warning telling you, like not just telling you, but demanding you to like remove those parentheses, right? And like considering this level of bike shedding built into the compiler, I would expect it to complain about empty files, but it actually didn't. So yeah, I was quite surprised that it just didn't care. Sure. So let's implement edit field. So edit field is gonna be something that contains the buffer, right? So it's gonna have a buffer, which is a string. And on top of that, I think the only other thing it needs is a cursor. Hey, at least they can complain about using tabs. Yeah, some languages do. Yet, yeah, maybe they will start doing that. Who knows? Who knows? There's too many opinionated warnings in the compilers these days, to be fair. Just, why not let people program the way they want to program, right? So it just doesn't make sense to me. Okay. So this is the edit field, and edit field, to be able to integrate edit field into our framework, we need to implement a widget interface for it. That's what we need to do. So widget, yeah, there we go. You don't even need to implement any of these methods because their default implementations are empty. So you can just do something like implement widget for edit field, and you're Gucci to go. You're pretty much Gucci to go. So the only thing we'll probably need to implement here is at least rendering, and that one is going to be interesting because I don't really want to go into multi-line editing field right now. I want it to be a single line, but you are supposed to render edit field in a rectangle which can have several rows, and the question is how we're going to even handle that. Maybe we're gonna wrap it around at least, which will effectively make it multi-line, but I don't know. Why aren't you using some sort of auto-completion? I do use auto-completion. Look, I started to do ED, and it auto-completed edit field. I use auto-completion. I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. So imagine not using auto-completion in 2020. Cringe. My god. Yeah. So to implement all of that, what we need to do, we need to implement this particular method, right? So when you're rendering, you're presented with three things. You are presented with the context, right? And the context is like the framework. With the context, you can do the following things. You can generate a new event, and you can quit the whole event loop. For some reason you can do exec, but I'm not sure if it's a good idea. Like, what if you call exec while being an exec? Wait a freaking fucking second. That will actually create additional event loop, which is awesome for model windows. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Oh shit. Fuck. Fuck. So, you see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? So technically, while handling some stuff, you can you handle the event and you have an access to the context. So essentially, you can start another event loop from within the event loop. And this is essentially how model windows are implemented in UI systems. You see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm talking about? But the only problem here is that it will double initialize in cursors. Right, that's what it will do. It will double initialize in cursors. And that's the only problem we'll need to fix if we want to have nested event loops. God damn, that's really fucking sexy. We need to have that. We need to have that. Okay, so I'm gonna put it to do. No support for nested event loops via RCUI exec. Yeah, that's cool. This is actually pretty cool accidental discovery. So, but I don't know how to avoid double initialization. So, unless we have some sort of a global flag that checks that we already initialized in cursors and shit. Yeah, because like this thing. Anyways, so let's continue. And also deinitialization, of course. Oh, but the problem here is that this thing doesn't... Yeah, but I think this idea still would be kind of great. I think it still would be kind of great. Alright, so this is what we need to implement here. What the fuck is this shit? So we're not gonna use active, that's for sure. We're not gonna use active. And what we want to implement right now, we just want to render a text. So I'm gonna move it here. Rect x. Actually, let's do y, x, and then add str. Yeah, self buffer pointer to this string. And that's going to be the whole thing for now. So we'll just need to do something like this. It's going to be rect x florf. Can we get some florfs in the chat, please? As I32, it's going to be y. There we go. So that's going to be the initial rendering of this thing. So let's go back and let's build all the target. And to learn more, okay, so implement widget. Oh yeah, we need to import super. Okay, so context is not used. What else is not used? Cursor is not used yet, but we're gonna use it. Cool. So maybe now we need to come up with an example. With an example that uses edit field. So let's go to the examples here and let's do 05 edit field rs. It's going to be a very simple example, at least for now, and we'll see how it goes. So we have to use RCUI and everything from RCUI, right? So this is like a simple boilerplate for this thing. RCUI exec, and we'll have to take edit field. Oh, we didn't implement any like new or wrappers for it, so yeah, we'll have to do something like wrap Yeah, so let's quickly implement that. We need to have constructors for edit field. So new, I suppose new should accept some sort of a string. Yeah, maybe we're gonna have something like empty. It should return. Does an cursors already have edit fields available from new form? We're not using this form field and stuff like that. They're too complicated and I don't really like them. Alright. Self buffer. So I need only two things, okay? The ability to move the cursor around and put a character at the current cursor. That's it. I can build the whole framework out of that. I don't need anything else. Thank you very much. Okay, so this one is going to be new, and the cursor initially is going to be 0, hopefully. Again, I have to do something like this. Let's see how it goes, and then we're going to have a wrap, which essentially returns box self, and it's going to be box new, self new. I keep forgetting, when do I have to? Alright. So where's the problem? Oh, okay, so we need to make edit field available there. So we'll have to add a module edit field. And then we'll have to do something like, why is this there? That's very strange, but okay. Edit field, nothing. Okay, so it doesn't recompile properly. Oh, it's already there. Oh, I'm an idiot. I already did that, so I forgot to make it public. Okay. So I'm not gonna make this public, but yeah. I just keep forgetting that I forgot to make it public. Alright, so now it works. Now it works, and let's try to run this. Well, it doesn't really make much sense to run this example because it doesn't do anything, and it's impossible to quit that example. So what we have to do here is do a proxy wrap. I already told you I'm using auto completion. I actually demonstrated you how it works. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, by the way, so I guess ready for TSMR, because I think my tea is ready. There we go. Finally, I have tea, so that means I can survive until the end of this stream, which is gonna be hard, but with tea, we can accomplish anything. Cheers. Yes, TSMR, that's what it is. It's the exclusive content of Tsoding channel. So, okay, so this is a wrap, and I think this time it has to be new, actually. Alright, and in here, what we're gonna have a function, and I forgot what it accepts. So it's supposed to accept the original, okay, so this is gonna be field, then we're gonna have a context, or maybe our COI, and event. So that's essentially what we have here. And maybe I'm gonna propagate that event down to the edit field. We'll see. Does it compile? Okay, so that's not enough. So you also have to provide. Oh, you also have to provide this context for CUI too. So yeah, now it works. Cool. This is how we propagate the events. But that's not enough. We'll have to do something like if let event. I forgot the name of this thing. Event. Okay, so event keystroke. Right, event keystroke key. And in that case, we want to actually handle it. And what kind of thing we want to handle there? That's a good question. So, but let me take a look at the other example here. Example 01. Aha. Key as U8 as char Q. And in that case, we just want to quit. There we go. So this is how we make the quitter for our simple program. And let's go. Well, I mean, welcome to Rust, I suppose. I kind of tired complaining about this thing, but yeah. Essentially, you cannot cast like integer right into character. So you have to first downcast it to a smaller type, and then you can cast it across like to the same size of the type but different type. Like I don't quite understand how it works, but yeah. If I try to do something like just as char, it will complain about that. We can take a look at that. Yeah, there we go. So only U8 can be cast as char, not I32. Yeah. So first you have to do U8. Then you can do char. Alright, so edit field, and there we go, we have nothing, but if I press Q, it actually quit. Cool. Here's an interesting thing. We can test if edit field receives any events, by implementing handle event method for this thing. So let me take a look. librs handle event. So that's how we're gonna go about that. So we don't need the context here. We only need the event, right? So if let event keystroke key event. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna take self and we're gonna push that key into the buffer. So effectively that will you know, add it to the edit field, and we should be able to see that in the while displaying this entire stuff. Okay, it doesn't really, yeah, because it has to be just a single equals. So I have to do it like that, and everything seems to be twerking. Everything seems to be twerking. But in the example itself, I think we should stop handling Q, because that basically makes it so we cannot enter Q into the field. So we have to like choose something else. Let's actually choose like a new line. So on pressing enter, you will quit the application. So at least for now, we can change that later, of course. Alright, so if I press anything, as you can see, it adds that to the buffer, and we can see that. But if I press enter, it exits the application. Okay, so we have already like a very simple edit field. And we can append things into that edit field. And I wonder, actually, what if you try to type like Unicode? Okay, I'm gonna switch to a Russian layout, and now I can enter Unicode symbols, which are 2 bytes long, right? They're 2 bytes long. And if I run this entire thing, so I'm in a Russian layout, okay, I'm running it, and yeah, it's incapable of handling that for sure. So it cannot handle that. So I wonder how we can make it handle that. That would be actually pretty cool. Nice reminder. Hello, Rajrahu L287. I hope I pronounced nickname correctly. So I did I compile ncurses with like white character support? So let's take a look. I think I didn't. Oh no, I did. There we go. He was white. Yeah. Okay, that means the problem is probably somewhere in here. So instead of like casting it to U8, we need to have a way to turn a code point, I suppose, to a Unicode. Is it TypeScript or something? No, it's Rust. Do we have like a Rust? Oh yeah, okay, so it's this language. That's what it is. Another overhyped language. Are chars Unicode chars in Rust? I think they're not. I think they're not. Or are they? Let me actually. I keep forgetting that because I'm working with too many languages. So let's take a look. Char primitive type. Char type represented as a single character. More specifically, since character isn't well-defined concept in Unicode, is a Unicode scalar value. Okay. Cool. And from U32, nightly. Okay. Encode your fate. So you have that. From digits. Convert the digit in a given radix to a char. Why all of that is a nightly feature? Why everything useful is a nightly feature? Why? Why? From U32 unchecked. Seriously. And by the way, I wonder how many of them do I receive? Actually, everything's also, yeah, exactly. Like this language is unusable without nightly. I don't know how it goes. std-char module has those as free functions. Well, cool, but are they nightly? I mean, I'm looking at std-char module, don't I? Isn't that what I'm looking right now at? I think I'm looking at it right now. So I don't know what you're talking about. Yes, you mean this one? Ah, I see. From digit. Okay, Jesus Christ, that's really confusing. Okay. Convert a digit in a given radix to a char. All right. So let's try to use that. So it's going to be char. Thank you so much, Etet. From digit. We're going to provide the number, but the key, as far as I know, is I32. So we'll have to do it as U32. And the radix is going to be, well, 10, I suppose. It isn't 10, isn't it? Somewhere also called base. A radix of 2 indicates a binary number, radix of 10. I don't understand why we need radix here. What's the use case for this function? So essentially, you have a number, but you want to treat it as in particular, with a particular. Why? Okay. Okay. I just brain farted. I'm so sorry. So yeah, I see. So character from. It creates you a digit. Oh, okay. It creates a digit. No. I want to have a Unicode code point. Okay, that's why it confused me. I have a Unicode code point. Probably. I don't even know if I have it. How can I turn it into a char? Jesus Christ! Like oh my god. And I'm looking at this thing again. Okay, I'm gonna Google it. Rest code point to char. How to do that? Okay, code Unicode. Unicode code points at what? It's code points at Unicode. From uint32. I'm not sure. I already looked at, oh yeah, maybe. Okay. It's not nightly. Okay. Okay, so let's give it a try. Thank you. Yeah, I actually skipped through it because in a different module it was nightly. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Everything's okay. It's a good language. Thousands of people cannot be wrong. Okay. Everything is good. Everything is good. So we do that, and then we unwrap that. That gives me a char, and then I'll be able to just take self buffer push. What are you going to create? I don't know, because it's going to be in the future. Okay, it didn't work anyway. So it didn't work anyway. Cool. So, and I wonder why. Probably because when I... So it must be something to do with the keypad situation, doesn't it? Okay, encurses Unicode input. Read UTF encode from keyboard and encurses. Okay, so this is what we need. Comes from all the... Okay. However, it is still right function to use. You just need to deal with its result properly. Call it repeatedly and dump what you get into string of bytes. In your particular example, you'll need 2 calls to obtain enough bytes to represent a particular Unicode character provided. Really? Sure, you don't need get UTF-8 from get reception that returns the int status code. You would get ch. Okay, that's very interesting. So essentially, get ch will give me a sequence of the UTF-8 bytes, and I have to decode them myself. Oh shit! The fuck? Oh fuck! That's very convenient. Okay. Don't forget to filter out special values that getSH can provide, as it does not always give you raw characters. Consider, for example, F1 key. Special. How do I know that it's a special? I don't know if it's a special or not. So the problem here is that our event system, right? Our event system here, it just grabs whatever it gets. from getSH and generates an event out of that, right? It just generates an event out of that. And so essentially for each like Russian character, which is 2 bytes long, it will generate 2 events, right? So, and we can even check that by pushing this thing slightly differently. So, and if I do something like this, so it will indicate how many characters it received, right? So, and if I run it, and if I press a single thing, I received 1 character. If I do it in Russian, I received 2 characters. Yeah, you can see that it increments by 2 because it receives 2 consequent bytes. So, but how do we know that we need to stop? How do we know that we need to stop? That's a good question. I have an interesting idea. Essentially, instead of the buffer, you can have a vector of U8. And then you do self buffer push key as U8, right? And when it's time to render shit, right? So how can I convert vector 8 to a string? I remember there was a way to do that. I remember there was a way to do that. String. Who's gonna be the first who tell me how to convert vector 8 to string? From UTF-8. There we go. You all lost because I found it first. You all lost. So, and essentially, we're gonna do string from UTF-8. And that gives us result, right? It gives us result of the new string. And we're gonna unwrap that right away. So it's gonna happen every time you re-render something, which is absolutely horrible, but it is what it is. Okay, so it moves it. Oh shit, that means I have to clone it. So every time we want to render that shit, we'll have to clone it. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm about to switch to Russian mode. Okay, so here it is. Here's the English. I'm switching to Russian, and it crashed. Cool. So this is because it was incorrect. It was incorrect for a second. And this is probably because of the order in which we do these kind of things. Okay. So first we try to render, then... Well, get ch. Yes. This is because we render between get chs. That's why. Because we render between get chs. So essentially what we need to do here, we need to do a timeout. Right. We need to do a timeout. So because Incursus has a timeout, right? Incursus has a special thing called timeout. And essentially it turns getCH into a asynchronous function, right? Timeout. Oh my god. Why do they put so many functions into a single man page? Like, come on. Timeout routines set blocking or not blocking read for given window. If delay is negative, blocking read is used. If delay is 0, then non-blocking read is used. Read returns error if no input is waiting. Okay, so that's essentially what we're gonna have here. So I'm gonna set timeout to be, I suppose, 0. So we're not gonna have any timeout at all. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're rendering. And I think that's gonna be the thing. Maybe something like while. I don't know. So essentially, I want to actually flash all of the key events until I stop receiving any more key events, and only then process them and only then re-renders them. Does it make any sense? That's essentially what I want. So, and to do this kind of stuff, I want to make it like so. So this is going to be mutable. This kind of thing is going to be mutable. While key is error. I'm not even sure if we have this value here, but while it is error, I'm going to just waiting on it. Maybe we can put timeout like to be like this, probably. Hello, the gorilla. Check Unicode segmentation. How is it related to what I'm doing right now? I know what is Unicode segmentation, but how is it related to what I'm doing right now? Do you pay attention to what I'm doing? Do you pay attention? I don't think you're paying attention to what I'm doing. All right. So, okay. So we're just waiting until we're gonna receive something, right? And once we received something, we'll have to push that into the event queue. And while key, right. And while key, we keep receiving these things, and we keep pushing them. So this one is just waiting on the key event. Busy waiting waiting on the key event, right? Flashing everything we've got. Do you have get WCH available in curses? Do you pay attention to what I'm doing? We actually read through several Stack Overflow pages that said that you don't need to use get WCH, you have to use get CH, and it gives you a sequence of UTF encoded characters that you have to decode yourself. Does anyone pay attention to what I'm doing? I'm disappointed, chat. I'm extremely disappointed. I'm extremely disappointed. Jesus Christ. Alright, so after we handled all of that, right. Yeah, that should be alright. That should be alright. Handling all of the events from the queue. Chat isn't cute at all. Well, just spam some AAM. Okay, while key is like not equal error, right? While it's not equal error. Oh shit! It just compiles, so that means we do have error. That's beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Okay, cool. So busy waiting on the next event. Flashing everything into the queue, and then we hand in everything, and then we go on the next situation. Alright, so it's probably dumb, but I cannot come up with a better solution with what I've got. Okay, cool. And so it's still... Panicked at unwrap. So it didn't really work. So was it Russian? I think it wasn't even Russian. So 255. What is 255? And it also said that I need to filter out special characters. And how can I know that the character is special? Is there any way to know that the character is special? And curses. Okay. Let me take a look at that one more time. 200 isn't printable. Well, thanks, I guess. I know. Okay, so don't forget to filter out special characters that GitCH can provide, as it does not always give you raw characters. So, and okay, let's take a look at that. Raw. So, and how can I do that? Has a key, takes a key value from the above list and returns true or false according to whether the current terminal type recognizes a key with that value. Note that a few values do not correspond to a real key. So, and what do I do then? If it has a key, So let's try to do both of them, I suppose. Okay, bye-bye, Hertz and Plots. Alright. So... Okay, maybe I have to do that here. If key has key, right? Only then we're gonna push it there. So it does have key. So, I'm gonna put it like that. And we don't have that. Why don't we have that? Okay, so let's go to docs.rs. Docs.rs and curses. Has key. So the bindings don't have that. The bindings don't have that. Okay, so let's at least try the following thing. Let's try the following thing. Why does it give me 255 though? I don't quite understand. Why is it 255? What's up, Jiang? Welcome, 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 welcome. We're working with Incurses and Unicode Madness yet again. We're trying to accept a Unicode input from this thing. It's really painful, apparently. Okay, so what if I don't unwrap it? Yeah, let's do it like that. So it's gonna be like this. If let okay x like this. So it could be also s. So we're gonna put it like this. Okay, is it gonna do anything? If let. It has to be if let. Yeah. Cool. So essentially, if it cannot convert it, it's not gonna crash. Let's see. Cool. So let's make it crash, and let's take a look at the input yet again. Let's take a look at the input yet again. Unwrap. Come on, you can do it. Cool. So, where 255 is coming from? So that means I received 2 characters from there. That's what it means. Okay, so I can try something like this. Like, where does it come? Where does it come from? So instead of pushing that thing here, I can try to push this thing, right? So I don't understand where that second byte is coming from. Alright, so it actually sends me 2 bytes. What is 255? What is 255? Why does it send me them? And why didn't I receive them before? That is so strange, like, what? Okay, and curses get ch 255. What is that? Terminal handling. What is 255? Is that an indication of the end of the character? I think maybe we should read about get ch a little bit more. Okay. Routines read a character from the input in no delay mode. If no input... Wait a second, by the way. I think I'm an idiot. I think I'm an idiot. Okay. This is definitely not error. Okay, so we keep receiving this thing until it becomes error. I think 255 is an error. So that means we have to do something with this. Yeah, I fucked up this while loop and it caused me 20 people. Alright. God damn it. Alright. So... Yeah, I was right. It was that. Oh my god, I just accidentally pushed error into the thing and I wasted so much time. God fucking damn it. Like, there we go. So that's essentially what we need to do here. All right. We're gonna push things like that. Yeah, I think it's gonna work this time. It's gonna ensure that it's a correct UTF sequence. And as you can see, I can type, and I'm switching. Well, first of all, let's actually make it a little bit bigger. And I'm switching to Russian, and it doesn't print Russian. Nice. It doesn't print Russian, but it actually pushes something there. So that means it recognizes that correctly. That is really strange. Alright, so it received the Russian characters, it pushed them into the buffer, and it successfully decoded them from UTF, but it couldn't display them. It couldn't display them. The question is why? Why it couldn't display them? So we do have a support for white characters here in TOML and stuff like that. So here they are, white characters and stuff. Hello, Mega, welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So why don't we see anything? I'm not quite sure. Locale is not set. I didn't think so. Well, why does this work then? Oh yeah, I remembered. Thank you. It is not set. I see what you mean. I see what you mean. It is not set. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. God damn it. I really appreciate when people actually pay attention to what I'm doing. Yes, 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 yes. Local main. I have that hack here. Yes. That's what I need. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is so cool. Okay. So this is where we need to do that. Okay. Fucking classic, am I right? Do we use that from libc? Okay. Cool. Is it gonna compile? Is it gonna compile? Right, so let's just run this thing. Yes, finally it works. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can now input Russian characters. But this is such a Pepega solution, by the way. It is absolutely Pepega solution. So essentially, I have the following idea. Basically, if you accidentally receive anything that is not decodable into UTF-8, you're gonna have a really hard time doing, like, you know, debugging all that. Not debugging all that, but working with all of that. So essentially what we do, we receive all of the bytes and we just push them into a buffer, and when we need to render that, we're trying to convert it into a string from UTF-8. But if something that is not UTF-8 decodable gets into that buffer, right? If something not UTF-8 gets into that buffer, you won't be able to render it at all. So this is very dangerous. Right. So I have the following idea. What if we have like secondary buffer, right? So essentially there is a main buffer, like the main text and stuff, which is a string, right? And there's an intermediate buffer with bytes. So when you receive event with the byte, you push into the byte, and as soon as this thing becomes UTF-8 decodable, you append it to this buffer, right? So what's interesting is that we can make it like a threshold. If the size of the buffer becomes bigger than 4, we flush it, right? So essentially, if it became 4 and it's not UTF-8 decodable, that means we received garbage that's not worth like appending to our main buffer. So we're gonna just throw it away. So yeah, we have the main buffer and the additional one that just, you know, checks for UTF-8 decodability. So yeah, sounds like a good idea. And by the way, for rendering, we don't even need to decode anything or anything. We can just always take text, and we guarantee that text is always UTF-8 like correct, whatever that's supposed to be. Yeah. Okay, I'm actually very happy with this solution. So let's just implement that. Excuse me. All right. So and in here we just take the text. We don't even need any of this stuff. Self text, and there we go. We just render it. Cool. So in here, we receive the key, we push it to the buffer, and we have to make a couple of checks. If string from UTF-8 self buffer is okay, we can even do a match. Let's just match it, and if it's okay, so let's go to C. We'll have to push that string, like append that string to the text. So let's go with S. Append. I don't know if it will work, but I'm gonna just, you know, write a pseudocode. If we got an error, we're gonna just straight up ignore all of that, right? No. It's gonna be slightly different. If it's an error, and if self buffer length greater or equal than 4, well, I think we just have to flash it, right? We just have to flash it. I'm going to do clear. That's it. So I'm not even sure if this guard is like makes any sense. Let's put it like that. Yeah, there we go. Is it what I'm trying to do here? Yeah, should be okay. Sounds like a good idea, actually. It would be even cooler, excuse me, to do that in the event loop itself. It will be even cooler. Yes. So basically, event loop doesn't generate a new event until it receives like the full thing, the full character. Oh my god, I'm losing my voice already. Excuse me. You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. Alright. So does it compile? It doesn't compile because we don't have an append. And maybe I need to refill my water. Yes. Where is the... I didn't see scroll bar. Where is the scroll bar? Okay, I'm gonna just do home. String. So you can do push. You can do push str. Nice. So this is not what I wanted. Push str. Yep. Cannot move out. Oh, okay, so that means I have to clone it. Yeah. So essentially, the from UTF consumes that buffer. Which is okay, because buffer is going to be small. The buffer is not going to be bigger than 4. Right, so copying 4 bytes is just nothing, hopefully. Alright. So now I'm gonna try different things. Oh shit. Oh, I clean the buffer when there is an error, but I don't clean the buffer when there is success. So yeah, we successfully failed. Yeah, we just push this thing, but after that I have to clean the buffer, of course, like I forgot to clean it. So we have to clean it in both of the cases. But I cannot move it outside of the match because this one has to be cleaned only when it exceeds a certain threshold. Yeah. Alright, so here's this one, here's the Russian, and yeah. And also we have these kind of things, 1, 2, 3, other stuff. And overall it works quite great, not gonna lie. Oh shit, it works quite stable, look at that. This is such an amazing idea. Am I a god cooder? Is this a divine intellect? I think it is. God damn. So yeah, you essentially have the main buffer that contains the text, and the intermediate buffer that just waits for the rest of the bytes until they are UTF decodable. Fucking beautiful solution. Works. Fucking works. Alright. Alright. I'm actually quite excited. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's try to move that outside of the edit field into the event loop. Yeah, so, and now event itself is not gonna actually like accept, is not gonna accept the bytes, it's gonna accept like the character. I think that's cool. Yeah, I think that's very cool. And also key can be bigger than 255 because it's I32, and it can be bigger when you have like functional keys and stuff like that. So yeah, we need to handle those somehow. But anyway, so I'm gonna put a to do here. Move the UTF buffer mechanism to the event loop, to the main event loop. STD-STR from UTF to not clone. That's a cool idea. Thank you. But at some point we'll have to push it anyway. Oh, it will copy it. Okay, so that means I don't have to clone this thing here anymore. And I'll have to take a like reference. Oh shit, thank you so much. That's super cool. Yeah, that makes more sense. So thank you. So, and the copying is gonna happen only once inside of push str. So push it like basically string will just make its own copy just to append it. Yeah, that's cool. Nice. Yeah, professional. I think that is like seriously professional Rust coder. Yeah, because they helped me so many times. Alright. Cool. And let me double check if everything works okay. I wish I had like other layouts to test. Unfortunately, I have only Russian layout and English layout. So it would be quite cool to test it with Japanese layout, because Japanese symbols like 3 bytes long and stuff like that. Oh, I'm sorry. So, trust apparently potato. There we go. You can wiggle now. Okay, cool. So, okay, let's try to do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do that a little bit later. That would be interesting to try because it uses IME. What is IME and what are you talking about? I'm not sure. Oh, Japanese. Oh my god, I already switched the context. I forgot what you're talking about. Me trusting apparently potatoes actually completely wiped like this context completely, and it wasn't understanding what you're talking about. Why am I such a pepega? Oh my god. Like, it's so easy to just, you know, wipe out my entire like L1 cache. Yeah, 1 byte L1 cache. God damn it. Alright. So introduce initial what? Edit field implementation. So there's another things that we probably need for edit field. We need to have the cursor, right? we need a cursor functionality implemented for it. Let's put it to do here. Cursor edit field does not have any cursor functionality. Right, and by the way, we also need to be able to wrap around. So that should be done in the rendering. Edit field does not wrap word text wrap. Let's just call it wrap during the rendering. It's surging for no reason. Wrap me, senpai. Sure. After the stream, Jiang. After the stream. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that's the to-dos. And by the way, that means I have to remove that one. So no support for nested event. Oh yeah, that's cool. So I'm not sure, Jiang, if you were there, but I got an epic idea of actually nested event loops, because in any of the widgets, at any point, you have an access to the context. So you are inside of the event loop. What if you create a nested event loop? So, and that will enable functionality similar to model windows, right, in UI frameworks, because model dialogues and model windows actually have their own separate event loop that blocks the main one until you actually answer them or do something like that, as far as I can remember at least. So, and we can implement something similar. Context is new. Basically, context enabled me with getting rid of the global variables. WinForms in Rust. So yes, exactly. So the context is essentially where you have methods like push event. You can push a new event into the context and it will be put into the queue and then handled on the next iteration. And you can quit as well. That will push like quit event, which eventually kills the event loop as well. So yeah, through a context, you can interact with the system itself, and that eliminated the global variable. So this stuff used to be a global variable, now it's just a separate thing. And unfortunately, we have to pass it like everywhere now. But at least we don't have to use unsafe keywords, right? So that means this entire thing is safe, hopefully. Oh yeah. So we have this warning. How can I suppress that warning? I mean, I can just remove it then, since it's not used anyway. Yep. Remove to do 10. 10. Remove cursor field from edit field. It's not used yet. Anyway. Okay, and let's push that right into the repo, and let's check the clipping thingy. Clippy all targets. Alright, so we have a couple of warnings. So the first one is, yeah, so if we have like a new without any arguments, it will suggest you to derive default, right? Essentially. And I guess that's it, that was it, believe it or not. Fix cargo clippy remarks, there we go. And let's do FMT. There we go, and yep. Cool. That was a lot. Fix cargo FMT remarks. Let's push that right into the repo. And let's create the pull requests. Yep. And we'll also need to snitch up quite a few to-dos that we introduced while implementing edit field. What's up, fellowship? How are we doing? So introduce initial implementation of edit fields. Imagine getting like into the stream and getting instantly banned. My god. All right, so 84. Okay, let's just snitch this up. Snitch report, append body, introduced in, and it was introduced in 33. All right, edit field does not have any cursor functionality. That's okay. It doesn't wrap during the rendering. No support for native event loop. It's a completely separate issue, but still I introduced it while working on it. Move the UTF-8 buffer mechanism to the main event loop. Okay, so all of these will become separate issues, and we're gonna work on them separately. Maybe even on the stream. Who knows? Who knows? We'll see. We'll see. So maybe it also makes sense to purge some to-dos. I'm not sure, like I haven't purged for a while. Okay, so there's one of them closed. Item, yeah. Yeah, there was only one that was dangling, so let's push it as well. Okay. So we have quite a few tabs open. Let's actually garbage collect all of the tabs. And so move, yeah. Doesn't have any functionality. Okay, and I want to add all of these like 4 issues to the plan to work on. I wish it was a little bit faster, but it is what it is. Top-notch GitHub. Yeah, they didn't add an ability to add like a bundle of issues into the project. So it's just not a thing there. You can add them to the milestone, you can like batch close them, but not to add to the project. It's just annoying. So maybe the next one is going to be adding to the the cursor. Doesn't wrap the rendering. Nested event loops. Yeah, I think I want to do this one next after the cursor functionality. Why not search for all issues? So here's the problem with the cursor. It's kind of difficult to manage. So essentially right now I actually simply disable the cursor at all. So let's take a look at the 4th example, transfer list, right? There's no a single cursor here, right? So the cursors that you see here, like wide cursors, are actually simulated. So I essentially just have like I just paint them myself. I don't use the terminal cursor, and I hide the terminal cursor. So, and I'm thinking to use a similar technique for edit fields as well. Because, for example, what if I have several edit fields that are simultaneously focused, right, on the screen? So all of them are going to have cursors. How can I even implement that? Well, I think the answer is actually pretty straightforward. I just need to simulate the cursor in edit field as well. What do you guys think? Because the terminal cursor itself is actually not that useful, I think. Multi-cursor terminal. Oh yeah, for example, how would you do multiple cursors in like Vim in the terminal as well? You also have to simulate them. So yeah, the answer is actually pretty straightforward. Just hide the cursor and draw the cursor yourself. Simple as that. It's simulated, yeah. So there's no other way. Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna do. And here's the thing. So we have a notion of a focus, right? Notion of a focus. And what we're gonna do is that when we're active means that we have a focus right now, we're gonna draw the cursor if we're not active, we're not going to draw it, which will create a pretty cool effect. When you tab through the focuses, the cursor sort of jumps between the edit fields, and it's going to look so fucking dope. I really want to try that. All right, so we'll see. So are we ready to do emergy? I think we are. That's pretty poggers. Cool. There we go. And delete this branch. Yep, this one done, and this one is done, and let's work on this one. Does not have any cursor functionality. So let's go to the master and fetch the latest stuff. Origin master. Remove that. 34. I really want to make a small break. Let's actually make a small break. I'm gonna refill my water, and we're gonna implement cursors for the edit field. So yeah, that's gonna be the plan. Small break. Let's say 3 minutes maybe. Yeah, usual standard break, nothing special. Yeah. Let's make a small break, and you guys have fun. Yo, what's up? I'm back. Yeah, this is vanilla i3. I didn't patch it in any way. So yeah, so we need to implement the cursor for the edit field. So what we're working on right now, we are working on a component that is called edit field for our UI framework. Right. So right now we managed to input Unicode symbols, which is quite cool. I wonder if I can copy paste something. Let me try. So if I go to Google Translate, And where is English? And here we're gonna have Japanese. Right. Hello world.
こんにちは世界。
I'm sorry if it was too loud. So let me copy paste that, and I wonder if I can just insert it here. I can. How about that? That's actually super cool. So it handles even that. I inserted through shell insert. So all right, so we can even have that. That's cool. That's very, very cool. So, but we don't have a cursor, and that's pretty sad. It's a pretty sad state of the software development. And the cursor is going to just point to the current character. Okay, so cursor, use size. Right, and when we're initializing this thing, this cursor is going to be just 0. Yep. And when we're rendering all of that, well, if we're active right now, right, we're gonna draw the cursor. So to be fair, I think it would be easier to draw the cursor on top of the already rendered text. It's just gonna be easier. You don't have to split the text or anything. You just do that. So pasting is like typing, yeah, exactly. Typing letter by letter. That's how, as far as I know, it works in terminal. Yeah, and that's why our application is capable of handling all of that. Alrighty. So if we're active, and this one is not ignored anymore, if we're active, we're gonna draw the cursor. Oh boy. So first of all, we need to take the character of the under the cursor, right? But the cursor can be way over the string, right? Because, for example, you have a string. Look at the cursor that that we have right now. Right. So yellow cursor is the cursor that I'm trying to draw, right? So in the majority of the situations, cursor is just over the character, right? But it could be like after the string, right? And this is basically overflow, and we need to handle that somehow, right? So we need to handle that somehow. And that is very interesting. I've been asking around what people like about Rust. Now I'd love to know what you don't like about it. If you have a list of things that are not perfect and that would like to have or restrictions to be removed. Okay, let me actually like compose the list after the stream. Yeah, sure. Seriously? Please to report that typing Japanese directly works too. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for checking that. All right. So let me see. Self-text. How can I get the current character like in a safe way? Oh shit! I just need a get that returns an option. Time for me to install. You installed Rust just for that? But by the way, how did you install Rust? Did you install it through Rust app or something? Because I'm considering switching to Rust app. Yeah. Because my boomer way feels like an overkill. Oh, you use brew, I see. Yeah, I can see that. I also don't like that. But it's kind of like the over time, like Rust developers make it more and more painful to not use Rust app. So they're really pushing that thing. Yeah. Oh, string get. Okay, so maybe str get. Does it have? All right. Str get. All right. So, and could you please? There we go. So it returns me option. It also takes a range in a slice index, and I suppose slice index can be also an integer. Okay. So what I want to do here, I want to just do get and. Oh, it's so slow. It's so bad. Aha. Depending on the slide's index, the output could be different. Okay, that makes sense. That's actually pretty cool. And this is going to be self-cursor. Wow. And what I need to do here, I need to unwrap or, and I forget which one accepts the default value. Like, I can never remember, like, it's unwrap or, I think it's unwrap or that takes the default one. Okay, so, and default one is going to be space. Right, the default one is going to be space. All right, cool. Then now, how wanna render that? It's going to be y, but x is going to be in fact this one as I32. So this is how we're going to do that. And then I'm going to add, I'll need to switch a pair. Yeah, because I have to like draw that with a different color. So, and I already have a cursor pair. This is perfect. So, and I don't remember, attr on, yeah, attr on color pair. So this is how I enable the color pair cursor pair. And then I'll have to switch it off after I render everything. And then I'm gonna do add str, and I only have a single character here. That's what's interesting about it. I only have a single character. So is there a way to turn a character into a slice string? So I want to turn like Rust char to str. Not really string, but I will be okay with str as well. So it should be possible. Really? It's kind of sad. Like, I mean, slice. Okay, well, whatever. I'm okay with that. Sure. So that means I'll have to let c and then c to string, and then I will have to do it like that. All right. Sure. Why am I formatting instead of component? Are you doing advent of code? I haven't decided yet. Oh, right, it's already started, right? So, well, then no. I don't know, it's too much of a commitment for me to do this thing, and already committed to a lot of things. Alright, so I probably need to use style. Where can I use the style, though? Can still make it day one, gave no points. Like, I have way too many projects that I need to work on, so... Sorry. It is what it is. I'm too old for this kind of competitions, you know, I'm a grown-ass adult who has responsibilities and shit like that, so... Sorry. So I think this is how I have to do that. Does it compile? Str cannot be indexed by use size. Are you serious? Why can't I do that? Alright, let's take a look at the slice implementations and shit. So str get. So who implements slice index? I just want to see. So many things are nightly here. That's funny. Are you serious? Slice index str. Well, I mean, but I don't want str. I want a character. Or maybe it cannot understand that I want a character. It doesn't have enough information that I want a character. Like, but I don't want str. Okay. So let's go back to get. And index. Oh, it has to return str. Like, you don't have a choice. That makes sense. It just has to do that. All right. Can I do something like we can make it a str. I don't mind that. Sure. So it will make it even better because like this. So I take a cursor, and maybe it's going to be like self cursor, like that. Will it get a single one here? I don't know. Maybe. Who knows? It actually worked. So, and what's fun is that maybe we can even inline all of that, because I don't see why not. Get takes a range, by the way. Thank you! Thank you so much. You really helped me. That's super cool. Now, let me think. So I'm just double checking that I, you know, took into account everything. And it doesn't render anything. You got a PhD for a reason. Yeah, I see. That makes sense. Apparently, I'm not active. I wonder why. So I'm in the root, though, right? So I'm in the root. In here, when I'm rendering, where do I render? Yes, so the root of the UI is true, which makes sense. In the example, the root is proxy. So, and in the proxy, when we're rendering the thing, we're passing active alone. So that means it's active, whether you want it or not. All right, so something is strange going on. So we can try to remove active here and always try to render this thing. Do you need, maybe I need +1. Maybe I need +1, we'll see. So maybe that could be the reason why we couldn't see. Yeah, I think that's the reason. So I'm looking at a different reason. Thank you, Two-Step. So let me see, it's gonna be +1, +1, spaces. And there we go. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, but the cursor doesn't move when you like append things. Maybe we can move it when we append things. We can try though. So essentially, we can implement something interesting, like insert char. So yeah, so this is going to be like a public method that anyone can use, and edit field itself also can use it to insert those characters. I think it needs to insert str. I think it needs to insert str. Pognik. Damn it. Why did it got me? I don't know why. Epic Pogniks. Alright. Insert str. Right. And when you insert str, that thing should insert it in the current like position of the cursor. Right. That's what it should do. And I wonder how easy that would be. Because does string even have anything for inserting things? I think it should. I think it should. Let me see. Insert. I wish it was okay. Maybe I should do something like string insert. Oh, we do have that. And you can even do insert str. I saw that. I saw that shit. That's exactly what we need here. Insert str. There we go. Yeah. And you can do that at a particular index and so on and so forth. Oh, shit. Oh, shit. That's cool. Okay. So that means I can just do something like... well, this has to be like a mutable self, of course. This has to be a mutable self, otherwise you won't be able to do anything. Self text insert str, and you just insert that. Actually, useful API. Yeah, so basically you have a string and you can insert like a string in the middle somewhere. I'm sure this, I don't know, man. It was just really weird. This is, find operation as it requires copying every element in the buffer. not really. If you're appending to the end, this is a really strange explanation because you have two variables here: the size of the buffer and the size of the things that you're inserting, right? So the complexity will consist of these two, like n and n. So there's no, yeah, there's more than just n here. Anyway, whatever. So we clean the buffer, then we insert str, and this is where we can adjust the cursor, right? Oh yeah, well, we're inserting this thing, and we have to insert that at a particular index, right? So, and the index is going to be self cursor, right? So we insert it there, and once we inserted it, I suppose we have to append the cursor, self cursor plus s length. Yeah, slen. Right, that appends the cursor. Makes sense. And I'm not sure if the cursor is bigger than string, it will actually insert it at the end. Maybe this is something that we'll have to handle separately. Panic, if index is larger than string length, or if it does not lie in the char boundary. Okay, so it will panic. So that means we'll have to do the following thing. If self cursor is greater than slem or equal, no, text self text greater or equal. Come on, else. What we do? We're gonna just append. Is there any way to append? You can push. How can you append string? You should probably. Oh yeah, there's like push str. Okay, thank you. Push str. Self text push str s. Yeah, I remember there was like a len UTF-8 somewhere. Len UTF-8. Yeah. Is that a method of the char? I think it's a method of the... That is sad. Wait a fucking second. Returns the number of bytes. Oh. Are you serious? Don't you have a similar for str? Don't... Please. Please don't tell me that... Do I have to iterate through each individual character and just accumulate their sizes? Is that what I need? Oh, wait, no. I think I'm tired. Okay. Well, you should probably want to share 1 since you need +2 for double width character. The cursor, I mean, I think we're not gonna go into that yet. So for now, I want to implement something for the cursor. Anyway, let's just give it a try and see how it goes. I think I'm wasting too much time with this. Yeah, Unicode, I know. Okay. Because it's also borrowed. Really? Cannot borrow mutable self as mutable because it's also borrowed as immutable. Where? Are you serious? Oh, I see. Oh, I see. This is so bad. So I'm borrowing this thing as immutable, and then this method can potentially change the inner buffer here. So that's why it complains about that stuff. So yeah, but we're not into grapheme clusters right now, so we're not into that kind of stuff, so it doesn't matter right now. Don't worry about it. This is annoying, by the way. Can I let you know that this is super annoying? Like borrow checker is that's super annoying, just super annoying. All right. So what about string from int where I would just clone it? How about that? So I don't have to borrow it anymore. There we go. So it complains about non-existing problem. Yeah. The problem was, yeah, I already explained, I'm not sure if everyone understood that, but by doing that, I'm borrowing part of self as immutable, right? And then I call a method on self that mutates self, but self was already borrowed as immutable, right? So, and I'm trying to mutate it while it's borrowed as immutable. But what's interesting is that it's not really smart enough to realize that I'm borrowing a part of self, right? It's only part of self is immutable, and inside of this mutating method, I don't even touch immutable part. That's what's interesting. I wish Borrow Checker was so smart that it could realize that. That would be actually pretty epic in my opinion. So it would realize, okay, only part of it is immutable, and the thing that mutates doesn't even touch that immutable part. So why not just let me do that? So, but that will require like a deeper analysis, which may slow down the compilation even further. So you see what I'm talking about? It's, yeah, I completely understand why Borrow Checker didn't like that, but at the same time, why it couldn't handle that? That would be interesting. Oh, Rust people actually working on that. That's actually pretty cool. I see. But, okay, but at the same time, it's definitely gonna slow down the compilation time. So we really have to consider, like, is it even worth it, right? Because I think compilation time is quite important for the development cycle, right? You know, change, compile, and test. So is it even worth? I don't know. But yeah, but in this particular case, we'll have to actually copy. We'll have to actually copy, unfortunately. So this way we don't borrow part of self at all, because we just copied it, and now we didn't borrow it. That makes sense. All right, cool. So insert the star. It seems to be working. And why was done all of that? Oh, because I wanted to test how cursor will work. All right. Okay. What about Russian? Oh, okay, yeah. So it actually returns bytes. You can clearly see that it returns bytes instead of the amount of characters. But you can always, like, quite easily just do the thing. Borrow splitting. Oh, that sounds like something that I was talking about. All right. Let me take a look. The mutual exclusion property of mutual reference can be very limited when working with the composite. The Borrow Checker understands some basic stuff, but will fall over pretty easily. It doesn't understand structs sufficiency to know that it's possible to borrow disjoint fields over structs simultaneously, so this works daily. Okay, so this is basically the justification of the current behavior, if I understand correctly. Okay, thank you so much. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna also trust you. So now you should be able to send links. Thank you very much. There are some cell types which let you mutate through immutable borrow, but it's just too much bother for such a simple thing. Alright. So, I forgot what I was doing. Yeah, how can I calculate the amount of characters in the str? Is the only way to do that is Char's length? Can you do a length on an iterator? Is that a thing? No. You have to probably collect that into a vector, right? You essentially collect that into a vector of probably Char's, right? And you take a length of it. And that way, if you type in Russian, it will crash. Nice. Iter count. Oh, thank you. I forgot about this one. So, but is it Iter or Char's? I'm not sure. I think it should be Char's. Yeah, it failed. I wonder why. So, Iter. Hello, Kenjain. Welcome to the stream. So it didn't work. I don't know exactly why. Well, technically, to be fair, technically. Right now we use insert string, so... Oh shit, I see what could be wrong here. I see. Cursor is in bytes. Get... Oh shit, this index is in bytes. Oh shit, oh fuck. Oh shit. I see. Yes. This insert str accepts bytes. It accepts bytes. Fucking bytes. Oh, well, we know the answer, I suppose. It's pretty easy. But yeah. We'll see how it goes. God damn it, Rest. God damn it, Rest. Every fucking time. Speaking of... Oh, whatever. So, yeah. And that would require, like, refactoring all of that. So push str is not gonna work because it's a vector. Let's see. I'm pretty sure, like, vectors should have something like push slice. Okay, you can push a single element, but can you push a slice into it? So you can append other vector, but why the thing that you're appending has to be mutable? Ah, because it moves all of the elements. All right, that makes sense. Because otherwise you will have to copy them. But there is an append that actually copies them. All right. So, and surprisingly enough, right. So this is append, but what about insert? Can you insert? You can insert, and you can only insert a single element, which is not ideal, because I want to insert like a slice of them. And there is no such thing to insert a slice. Yeah, we have to insert them one by one. That's just is so close. I mean, what do you mean? Extend from slice. Jesus Christ. Seriously, is that what it's called? Oh my god. Why did they call it like that? Thank you so much. Alright. Clones and appends. Okay, that's exactly what I needed here. Yes. I wonder what would be easier in this particular situation. Can I just do something like char? Insert. How am I gonna call it? Insert chars. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. So here's the text. Cursor is bigger than text. That means I'm gonna... But I want to be able to do that. Yeah, that only appends this thing. That only appends it, but I also want to insert in the middle with the same way. Extend. Extend the collection with the content. Yeah. So essentially, I want something similar as insert str, but for vectors. And I don't understand why it's not a thing for a vector. Like, yeah, insert str. Like, instead of str, you would accept a slice, the same way extend from slice works. So let's actually find everything that mentions slice. I'm learning Rust now. I know extend from slice exists. Yeah, you're welcome. Into box slice, clone from slice. Copies the element into self. Copy. Well, swap with slice. It's another thing. Splice? I don't think it doesn't sound like what I need. Splice. creates a splicing iterator that replaces... No, this definitely... Yeah, they really miss that. Because I think there is not much difference between string and vector, if you think about it. They're kind of isomorphic. So, and I would expect them to have like isomorphic operations in that regard, right? Right. So if a string has insert str, well, there should be corresponding like operation for vector for any elements. And string is a vec underneath. Oh my god. Seriously. God fucking damn it. Did they even... Okay. Did they even consider the ergonomics of the language, meaning that how features that they add to the language like fit together? Okay, sure. I guess we'll just have to add, you know, characters one by one, like peasants. Anyway. Anyway, so if it's that, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna iterate the slice. So I'm gonna call it CS because it's chars, right? C in CS as iter. Okay, can you do a slice and iter? I think you should be able to, right? And then you just do self text push C. And I think there is operation for that, right? Extend. Well, insert extend. Yeah. For this case, we can straight up use extend from slice. Yes. So it's gonna be self. A text extend from slice, right? And this is where I can just straight up put a slice here. For this case, it's just perfect. It's just absolutely perfect. For inserting in the middle, it's slightly different. All right. So, and this is where we'll have to iterate through them. NCS iter, all right. And self text. So it's going to be simply insert, right? Yeah, we provide the index. Insert self cursor, and what we're inserting there is C, which also means that we have to keep incrementing the cursor automatically, right? We can remove that. And here, after we extended all of that, we'll have to add CS length. So that's going to be our approach with inserting characters, hopefully. Let's see if it compiles. Okay, so let's dereference it. Okay, cool. So now I have a vector of characters. I need to convert it to a string, or even preferably to a slice of a string, right? I want a slice of a string. So maybe std_str has something for that. Let's find out. std_str should be something like from vec. Nah, it's not gonna work from vec. Chars from. So chars is an iterator, right? Chars is an iterator. So, oh, that means I can do something like text chars, and then I can collect it into as slice of vector. No. I need a string here because I'm interfacing with ncurses. Ncurses expect str, so I have a vector of chars. I need to turn it into this thing. So collect as str. It feels like that's what I need to do. View the underlined as a subslice of original data. I'm kind of feeling that that's what I need. If str is a slice of char, then vec as a slice should be... I don't think so. Vec char is going to be this. Is this the same as this? It's not struct. I don't think so. I think the difference is like... Yeah, I think it's a different. str is... Even on the type level? Even on the type... Yeah, okay. So, I suppose this is what I want. I feel like that's what I want. Let's actually find out. Method not found. I I see. Hello, Seduchi Worm, welcome to the stream. Okay, so the Google time. Rust vec of chars to str. How to convert... Okay, so that's a pretty common question. Into iterator and you collect it to a string. Okay, I mean, you have a piece of memory that holds a sequence of characters. Why can't you just view that piece of memory as str? Well, I can make my memory language safe as well. You can just copy there exactly. Anyways, so I mean, iter collect. Okay, so that means text. Iter collect, and maybe it will even infer the type easily. Okay. Value of type cannot be from iterator. Okay, so I can just say that I expect string here. Okay, it actually accepted that. Okay, so what do we have here? Then text. All right, so this time I have a slightly different situation. Can I get a single character, like a single character out of vector? So that should be possible. Get. Oof. Oh, it's so painful. Come on, you can do that. I believe in you. So this is slice. Why vector doesn't have a get? Am I missing something? Where is get? There's set. Where's get? C, D, E, F, G. You do that through this thing? Oh, okay. So you through curly braces. Okay, so that means I'll have to do something like this. If self cursor is greater than self text len, then I'm gonna do add str like this. Otherwise, I'll have to do something like self cursor like this. That gives me a single character, and I'll have to turn it into a string. Yes, that's the beauty of this stuff. Okay. Okay, and insert chars. Okay, this one is going to be even more painful. So, expected slice character, but we got a string. So, okay. What we're trying to do here, we take in the buffer, we converted it to a string. After that, I need to take that string and turn it into characters. Can I use it to do that? So, chars. Who has chars? str. Okay, str has chars. So, so that means I can do something like chars and collect it into a vector. Okay, and maybe I have to like take a pointer of it, and it has to be a vector. But I don't remember if I have to provide the type. Okay, I did it. So many copying, and there's nothing you can do about that. There's just nothing you can do about that. What I was doing? Why I was doing all that? Oh yeah, so basically the cursor should now react properly to Russian text and stuff like that. Okay. Yeah, and all of that just to be able to see this cursor. Oh my god. I swear to God. God damn it, Rust. Yeah. It is what it is. and it isn't what it isn't. So this kind of stuff. All right, cool. So let's commit all of this. That was actually pretty difficult. Bonus copying and cursors rapid clone string. God damn it, yes. Bonus copying. Cheers. That's a celebration time. The scariest thing here is that I completely understand all of this madness. That's the scariest thing. All right. So what did we do? We introduced, okay, so we introduced the cursor. Introduce cursor mechanism to edit field. All right, and let's push that right into the repo. Let's push that right into the repo. So, but that's not enough. I want to be able to actually move around, like move the cursor around. And to do that, I'm planning to implement a couple of interface methods like left and right. And we're not going to handle arrows in the handle event of the edit field. So you're supposed to wrap edit field and call these methods yourself. You're supposed to just check, okay, I pressed left and right. That means I'm not going to propagate left and right to edit field, because if you propagate them, this is what's going to happen. This is what you'll get. So you don't want that, that's for sure. So you instead will just call method up, method left or method right. So that's how it's going to work, essentially. No. Left. Yeah, so left is essentially if self cursor is greater than 0, it should be super straightforward, just -1. If self cursor is less than self. Oh, by the way, I forgot that we're not even borrowing self. That's quite important to do. So now we're gonna borrow ourselves. So we should be able to also go over the length. So if it's less than length, you should be able to add another one, and it can become greater than length. So let's do it like that. Doesn't compile because yeah, cool. So now we have methods that can control cursor, and let's try to add that to the example. Let's try to add that to the example. So essentially, we're gonna only propagate keystrokes here, because I think edit field doesn't handle anything but keystrokes, so it's gonna be like that. So now we can try other things. Match key. Is it gonna be key? Do we even have a key left in cursors? I remember that we handled that in CM. So let me find key left. Okay. So I think we do have it. So that means I should be able to do the following thing. If key left, I can do field left. You see how easy it is? If key right, I can do field right. If it's something else, right? If it's something else, we're gonna do it like that. Yep. Otherwise, only then we're gonna propagate it to the field. So you see, yeah. So the proxy decides whether to propagate events to the field or not. If it's left or right, we're not propagating them, but we call in left and right things there, and that is needed so you can customize the key binding for like control events, like moving cursor and stuff like that. So if it's not, we're looking whether it's an enter. Yeah. And enter actually quits the event loop right now. And then we propagate it even further. Alright, that's cool. It even builds. I don't build all the targets, that's why it builds so nicely. All targets. Alright, so we don't have this thing, so that means we also need to use curses everything. Control F, Control B? What do you mean? Excuse me. This question has type but found. Okay, I can just do it like that then. Okay, cool. The moment of truth. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, that's what you mean. I already switched the context set again. God damn it. I'm so sorry, Zhang. Alright. So, yeah, let's see. And I'm about to press left. Got cooler. All right. So yeah, here's the example. Actually, believe it or not. That's cool. That's cool. So yeah, we have a cursor mechanism. You can move around and shit. So we can implement more operations for the cursors, like jump like a word forward or jump word backward. And that's just a component that you can slap into your UI. It will become a part of UI tree. Yeah. Key delete. We can implement that a little bit later as we need. So it's outside of the scope of the issue. The issue that we're doing is about introducing cursor at all. So yeah, but that's a good point. I think that's a good point anyway. So edit field doesn't have a mechanism to delete characters. So let's put it like that. Edit field does not have a way to delete character chars. There's another company that fully function UI tree. Yes, exactly. That's what it is. That's what it is. All right. Do we need anything else here? Do we need anything else here that I need to document and report as an issue? Yeah, I suppose cursor is not gonna actually wrap around. So if you keep like typing this stuff, it. Wait a second, does wrap around. I see. Oh, okay, that's kind of strange. All right, it doesn't wrap around, but we have an issue for that, right? We have an issue for that edit field does not wrap properly anyway, so it can be fixed in the scope of that issue. I think that's pretty much it. Right, that's pretty much it for this specific issue here. Okay. Implement left-right operations for the edit field cursor. And let's push that right into the repo. So let's actually go through the Clippy remarks. Clippy all targets. Right, let's just fix those. I don't have any Clippy remarks, how about that? But people say that Clippy sometimes skips them, so let's actually clean everything and try to run Clippy on all targets one more time. So yeah, am I that good at Rust that Clippy never complains about my code? Could be. Who knows? Who knows? So what about FMT? What about FMT? Yeah, there's a little bit of formatting stuff, but it's not that severe, I think. Yeah. I'm actually starting to get the point of Rust and it scares me. Yeah, but I still like C a little bit better. I don't really like the languages that force a particular development style on me. Just not my thing. Fix cargo FMT remarks. Let's just push that right into the repo and let's create a pull request. Rust is a new Emacs. Don't go full Rust. Yeah. Okay, so that's gonna be the title of the pull request, and we're gonna close this thing. 34. There we go. There we go. There we go. And after that, we need to snitch up a single to-do that I introduced there. Prepend body introduced in 38. If it doesn't have a way to delete chars, yes, that's what it is. And let's just push that right into the repo. Let's just push that. Okay. So, and this one is done. So, another issue is move the UTF-8 buffer mechanism to the main event window. Yeah, the one that accumulates the bytes and then turns them into a UTF-8 string that would then append. Oh boy, so it feels like, yeah, it should be relatively straightforward if I'm not tired. But I'm a little bit tired already, so it wouldn't be as easy as if I would try to do that at the beginning of the stream. So this is an issue for the beginning of the stream for sure. So yeah, and that probably means that it is time for me to go because I'm really tired already. So, but I think today was a pretty productive stream, right? Yeah, we made 3 pull requests. That is actually pretty cool. Yeah, but unfortunately, boys and girls, it's time for me to go. Thanks everyone who's watching right now. I really appreciate that. Have a good one, and I see you guess when? Guess when I'm gonna see you all? I'm gonna see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow, according to the schedule, we're gonna do programming in C++. We're gonna continue developing Vodus, our text-to-video renderer. Check out our schedule for more information on different projects we're working on. Check out our VODs channel where we upload the previous streams, the recordings of the previous streams. This stream is going to be there as well, but tomorrow we're uploading them on the next day. So subscribe, like, and all that stuff. And also check out our Discord server for offline discussion with the community. So yeah. So maybe we should rate somebody, I don't know. Is there anybody who's streaming Rust right now? Do we have any Rusticians? Merge DPR Uvu. Okay. Yeah, so to make this stream complete, I'm gonna officially merge this PR. There we go. The PR has been merged. The stream is finally complete. So who do we have here? So ToggleBit, we already ToggleBit recently. So recommendations, skill swap. Right, let's take a look at science and technology. We already raided ToggleBit recently, so let's actually give a chance to other people to get raided. Technology, yes. Just coding. We're also just coding. I didn't see anything particularly interesting. Analog circuits. That sounds interesting. OBS integration. Let's take a look at what they're doing. So, do they explain things? Hopefully they explain things.
Up in the driving point capacitance. So the change I got between the 2 signal flow graphs is actually quite small.
Sounds pretty interesting, not gonna lie. So they're explaining things. So let's just rate them, I suppose. Well, we need to wait until the Twitch loads up. React is fast, by the way. Did you guys know that? React is fast. Don't trust anyone else who says otherwise. React is super fast because it has Virtual DOM. And look how like quickly Virtual DOM loads up. It's just amazing. So yeah, get ready for the raid, boys and girls. Get ready for the raid, and I see you all tomorrow. Love you all. Mwah. React is fast.